Ishani Bakshi, and on this channel, I travel the world via books, meaning I will be reading one book from every country in this world on this channel. And today I'm paying a visit to Japan. So with Japan churning out around 139,000 books per year, it was very hard narrowing it down to one book to review on my channel. Therefore, I chose to be highly original and go with a book by the Haruki Murakami. So for those of you who don't know, he's a Japanese author that has won several awards such as the Jerusalem Prize and has authored many renowned books such as Norwegian Wood. However, I chose to go with one of his lesser known publications, the children's book, The Strange Library, illustrated by Chip Kidd and translated by Ted Goosen. So this story follows a lonely boy on his visit to the library in which he meets this odd librarian. This librarian aggressively insists on the boy staying longer at the library, and too scared to argue, the boy just decides to go with it. And this librarian sort of leads him onto this underground reading room, which turns out to be a labyrinth full of prisons where they keep little boys. And the story follows this boy's experiences inside this prison, the many different characters he meets, and how he eventually escapes. So even though this is supposed to be a kid's book, the synopsis, like I said, is a little bit dark, so I'm not sure if every kid would enjoy it, so keep that in mind. And this confusion surrounding the target audience is a problem throughout the book because the writing style and character development is a lot like one of our kindergarten faves like Roald Dahl, but the synopsis and the plot and the twists are something on the darker side of YA, so I don't really know where the author was going with that. But nevertheless, I really enjoyed it because it was a fun time. You know, it was eerie and it was whimsical and it was dark. And it was something that right around my alley. And what I also enjoyed about this book was that even though it was a children's book, it had a lot of twists. Like when they're trying to escape the library, there were many different things happening. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it was definitely really fun for me to read all about that. Additionally, one thing that I'll point out in this book that maybe the older readers can appreciate is this motif of loneliness. So like I said, this boy is described as lonely from page 1. And this motif of loneliness continues throughout the book. For example, this book has the idea of disappearing friends. So it's a concept where a person's right next to you, and then the next second they just disappear, like poof. And I think that really beautifully represents how lonely the boy feels. Additionally, one of the characters in the book introduces the idea of everyone living their own reality, which also shows how lonely people can be. One more thing I want to talk that relates to this book is that the book's art. I personally really enjoyed the art, even if the images on every page do not obviously relate to the work on the page, but it still added to the dark mood of the story. But there was this one image that I would have to critique, and it's this one. Wow, I feel like a beauty guru. Anyways, as you can see, this is a realistic picture of a dog, and on top of that, there's this papery drawing. And I feel like these two different textures and art styles don't really mix well in my opinion. Nevertheless, I did enjoy this book. It was a fun time. Therefore, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 stars. So I hope you enjoyed this book review. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss another stop on my literary world tour. Also, if you're interested in Taiwan, check out my previous video in which I review a book from Taiwan. Bye guys!